you go. Okay, so one thing that is going to be a lot more helpful for you is the R vowels worksheet. And let me, and I know you've gone through the R vowels in module 4, right?
I haven't passed the module 2 yet.
Oh, okay, I'm jumping ahead too far then. Okay, so I'm not gonna jump into that too much right now. If you're on module 2, then in 4, what's going to happen is we're gonna get into those R sounds, and it sounds like with the R vowels, we break that down into, and let me kind of show you how that looks. In the R vowels, we break it down into initial R, R blends, and R vowels. So first we have the initial R, where the R is at the beginning of the word. So say this for me: right.
Right.
Red.
Red.
Run.
Run.
Okay, so you're doing a great job with the initial R. Then we have R blends, which means a consonant and then an R. So do this for me.
Okay.
Treat.
Treat.
Prize.
Prize.
Great.
Great.
Okay, you do an excellent R vowel, okay? So what's good is when you have a really strong R's in other positions, it makes it easier to pull it into R vowels. So do this for me: her.
Her.
Were.
Were.
Okay, you do a great job with that. Do hard.
Hard.
Start.
Start.
Okay, it's good, it's not as strong, so that AR sound will be one to practice. Air.
Air.
Hair.
Hair.
Wear.
Wear.
Okay, you do a really good job with this. How about horse?
Horse.
War.
War.
Okay, so this is the sound we were working on with just the word or. That's going to be one to really work on, okay?
Okay.
And then ear.
Ear.
Hear.
Here.
Weir.
Rear.
Okay, that one's really strong. So what you're going to work on is air,
Air.
or sorry, R,
Okay.
and or. Those are going to be the
Or.
2 ones that I feel like, you know, because you have strong R's in other positions, it's just a matter of kind of working with the R's that you already have and making sure that they can carry into those OR and AR sounds. But those are going to be kind of those weak points. So as you get to the module 4, when you get to the module 4, just be aware that those 2 are kind of where that weakness is. Okay.
But sorry, just one moment, please. I typically hear native speakers when they speak real fast, they often skip the R sound. They tend to turn it into swap sound, so it sounds like So does it make any sense?
Yeah, so when I definitely see what you're doing. So like if we say salt, do you want salt or pepper? You know, salt or pepper? Or do you want black or white? Black or white? Yeah, so there definitely is that. The most common, so there in common, like this or that, it's the case. In this, an awkward interaction or a smile or a contemptuous glance is more or. And this is something that would be really good for you to pay attention to, is when do they say and when do they say or? And just kind of start bringing your awareness to that, because there are situations where we're doing this, and there are situations, you know, doing or, and sometimes when it's or or maybe it's more, I'm trying to think exactly the rule of when it's and when it's or, because when you did this.
Okay, if you found it difficult, you can study for the next.
Yeah, let me do a little research on that, because I'm trying to think the rule, when it's one and when it's the other. So we're going to start.
Maybe in the next webinar, I will ask you again this question.
Okay.
So you may have a solution for me.
Good. Right. I love that you're giving me homework. That's good.
Okay.
I'll give you homework, you give me homework, and we'll just we'll come back to it next week.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Ding.
Thank you, Annie.
Bye. Yeah, that's one of those interesting things because native speakers, a lot of times they do reduce things. I do like or and, this and that, this and that. There's and instead of is not sometimes fully pronounced. It's a lot of times it's n, this and that. So you'll start noticing that. One thing that I usually recommend with our students is before you get into reductions and before you start getting into some of those, you know, those like how you reduce sounds, I like to train you on how to do the full sound first so that you're nice and clear and easy to understand. Because if you jump into the reductions right away, sometimes with the other sound errors and the other rhythm errors and things that you're doing, it just kind of causes more confusion. So doing it, learning how to do it more of the correct full pronunciation will allow you to be nice and clear. And then later on, when you're wanting to learn a little bit more of the relaxed slang type of speech, we can